Hello guys, are you ready for some organization motivation? Of course you are, that's why you clicked on this video. So get ready because this video is jam-packed of it all. We do everything from the kitchen drawers to the pantry to the bathrooms. So grab your coffee, make sure you're nice and comfy, maybe even get you a snack, and let's jump on into things. So to kick things off, we are working in my silverware drawer. This is something I've always wanted to try. That way each utensil has its own space, like the big forks with the big forks, the small ones with the small ones. But unfortunately, I didn't have enough room for all of the containers, so I did have to end up putting each fork together and then each spoon, but that's fine. It still worked out beautifully. I'm in awe of how it turned out, and I can't wait for you to see. Now you will find and see here as an example that anytime you're trying to organize, you'll have to play around with the bins a little bit, just, kind of like you're playing Tetris, to see what's going to fit and how you can make it work in your space. And then also how can you rearrange the items and play with them to make them look the best that they can look. And now for our beautiful after. Won't you just look at it? Now we're going to be moving on to my cooking utensils drawer. There wasn't much I could do here. I did have a couple bins I wanted to try in the space, but unfortunately I've got to take one of the sets back because I didn't have room for both sets of bins. So I was only able to fit a smaller bin in here, and then I just kind of worked around that to configure the bigger utensils. Moving on to my Tupperware drawer, I did declutter some of the smaller square bowls because we just don't really reach for those a lot unless we're using them for dipping sauces. And so I did end up moving my ice tray in another cabinet, and I moved my mixer down here as well because it just wasn't working for me in the space that I did have it, which was up in the drawer above where we're working at now, with my pots and my pans and like my strainers and stuff. Moving on to my plates, bowls, and glasses cabinet. I didn't really organize anything in here, but I did want to take my glasses that you see on the left and put them in this smaller cabinet to the right. In here we did just keep all of our drink mixingware, but we're really not big drinkers, so I just gathered everything that had to do with drinking, like alcohol beverages, down to the bottom, and then I moved our more aesthetically pleasing glasses up to the top of that cabinet. So we just finished restocking my plastic silverware. And so now we're just going to work on beautifying my coffee containers. This is definitely not necessary, but it does make a huge difference in your coffee cabinet. So we're just going to give these a good wash and dry and just pour the coffee right in these bad boys. Now, if you want to add a little oomph to your coffee containers, you can add some scoops in there. I had some already on hand, so I just threw those in there, and I'm just playing around, figured out how I want it to look. I was trying to find spots for this caramel and this grenadine, but then I noticed that it was both out of date, so there was no point in even worrying with it. And I tried to make my tumblers up top look nice and pretty and in a basket you see here, but that didn't work out either. It was too tall, but I was able to convince my husband to declutter some, so that definitely helped a lot. So here's a good look at the after of the coffee cabinet. I'm just going to refill my sugar container, and then we're going to move on to my dishcloth and dish towel drawer. So here in this drawer, I'm just kind of winging it. This long container you see here was meant for my cooking utensils, but it didn't fit in the drawer that I had designated. So I just took it and used it to separate my dishcloth and dish towels. But now we're moving on to the fridge. We're using this $1.25 from the Dollar Tree Essentials brand. Oh look, egg broke, lovely. But from the Dollar Tree, this was actually a wonderful purchase for just $1.25. I will say it won't go on your thicker like top shelf here like I'm trying to do, so don't break it. Luckily, I was able to figure it out without harming the product, but it does need to go on like a bottom tier shelf, a shelf that's a little bit thinner. I am rearranging the fridge just a little bit because you'll see here shortly that I'm not done yet with the fridge. I have a soda container holder that I'm going to put my Dr. Peppers in, and then I have a clear plastic bin that I'm going to put my protein shakes in. Just like with every other organization project, we're just kind of playing around in this fridge, trying to figure out what works best in here and what may be better in another space. Here it is, our final reveal of the refrigerator. Next, we're going to be moving on to that dreaded under the kitchen sink cabinet space. But stick around because I think we got it figured out with some Walmart and Dollar Tree products. Doing some more of that messing around and finding out underneath this kitchen cabinet space. But I will say I've had this Lazy Susan by the Pioneer Woman for years. I think I had it in the old house, so it's at least 4 years old. And it worked wonderfully. It served its purpose for me for years, but I was definitely ready to move on and look at something new. So we're just playing around with a lot of the Dollar Tree locker bins right now, and the blue bin was also from the Dollar Tree. But I did end up sticking a Walmart stackable drawer system in here that I got for a crazy steal of a deal. It was like less than $10. I debated so hard on just tossing out these scuffed up acrylic drawers, but I did end up using them in my homeschool closet, but that won't be included in today's video, unfortunately. But I'm just taking all of my cleaning products and sticking them in the top drawer of this stackable organizer, and then in the bottom will go all of the home project stuff like the silicone, glue, things of that nature. Of course, due to the pipes under my sink, I had to completely reorganize everything again and switch sides, but we do eventually get it figured out, I promise. Voila! See, I told you we'd get it figured out. No big deal. But I did take the stuff out of the gray locker bin all the way to the far left and put it in this clear container. That way I could see everything a little bit better. Moving on to my aluminum foil drawer, I guess that's what we'll call this, and storage bag. I really didn't have a plan for this. I just started grabbing stuff out and taking it out of boxes. I'm fairly pleased with how it turned out, but again, this was another one of those gotta play around till you figure it out. This drawer frustrated me so bad, I did end up cutting the camera off and coming up with this. So it's beautiful. I did have to move some of my cookie cutters and stuff to a different drawer. But now we're about to tackle the biggest pain in my rear, which was this darn stinking deep, really deep, but not long enough pantry. I think we finally came up with something after trial and error. I think we finally figured out something that's going to work. Hopefully for the long haul, because I have played around with this thing for the past 2 years and couldn't figure it out. But like I said, I think we've got it now. And so here I'm just taking these small Dollar Tree bins and sticking my spices and my instant potatoes and stuff like that in those on the very top shelf. And then I'm pulling out all of my canned food. That way we can find a better system for it. You guys, I'm not kidding when I say we probably tried, I don't know, 3 or 4 different solutions until we finally went and bought a legit like can rack that rolls the cans down after you use one. So I got that from the Walmart. I think it was like $15, but I tried everything in here. I tried the Lazy Susan. I realized that wasn't going to work. I'm using these Dollar Tree bins to stack the cans up. That didn't work. Like when I'm telling you, we tried it all, girlfriend, but we finally found a fix. I ended up even completely reconfiguring the cabinets. Like I put my breakfast cereals on the very tip top. I put my cooking sprays and stuff in the middle, and then the shelf below the bottom shelf is where I stuck all the canned goods. And then on the very bottom is where I stuck the breads and chips and stuff like that. Stuff we really don't grab that often. This breadcrumbs container was irritating me because it was too big for any of my spaces. So I just stuck it in a Ziploc bag and threw it up there with my spices. And here's when we start the whole rearranging of the cabinet.
Never really know what's going on. Look at me sometimes like all you want to do is run. Hear me out, hear me out. It's all the things you never show.
Here, to condense down a little bit, I'm just taking my oatmeal and sticking it in this flexible Dollar Tree bin.
There are the things I want to know. Secrets start in your heart so slow. But if you don't want to tell me now, I guess I'll never know. Losing almost all my energy. It's getting hard to talk to you, and I'm the only one who speaks. It's all the things you never show. There are the things I want to know. Secrets start in your heart so slow.
On this top shelf, I do have it the way I love it, but I do end up switching these gray containers on the bottom that's holding like my macaroni and stuff like that. I end up switching them with some clear ones from the Dollar Tree. That way I can see everything a little bit better. And then down here on this very bottom shelf, we're trying to figure out what containers will work best with the breads. And then my husband also likes to get the cup of noodles sometimes for a snack, like on the weekends. So I'm just depackaging those and sticking them in one of these locker bins as well.
But if you don't want to tell me now, I guess I'll never know. Here we go, turning all the wrongs into rights. Here we go, you can take me there tonight. Whoa, this life is all we know. Whoa, I can't stay if you can't let it go. I never really know what's going on. And even when you're next to me, I feel like you were gone.
We do a lot of family movie nights, so we have a ton of candy, chips, popcorn, stuff like that. So I got my bin down to go through it, figure out what was still in date and what needed to be tossed out. And I did end up putting the good stuff, the stuff that was still in date, in one of these locker bins just so that we could see a little bit better. I've had this gray bin again for years, so it's time for it to go. And then I did put the popcorn, I separated it out from the chips and stuff and put it in one of those long, skinny, flexible bins from the Dollar Tree.
It's all the things you never show. There are the things I want to know. Secrets start in the hearts so slow. But if you don't want to tell me now, I guess I'll never know. But if you don't want to tell me now, I guess I'll never know.
At 29 and I find myself wondering what did happen to the last 10. I ran away with my life, fast forward, never turn back again. It's kind of funny that the more we pass time, the more we need to set the rewind. And 19 was the year I had to leave you, but now I'm seeing all the signs. Is this really happening? I can't believe it's true. I'm just as surprised as you. Is this really happening? I can't be too sure, but one day I'll be yours again. Life lessons come one in a dozen. The other 11 give something from nothing. I sit here looking for an answer. Maybe the biggest question was in.
Right now I'm just washing out our cereal container, that way I can refill it. There was Cheerios in it, and now we're going to refill it with some beautiful and bright Tutti Fruttis. But then we're going to move on to finally putting together that can shelf. That way we can unstack the cans and hopefully be able to see what we've got a little bit better. And leave it to me to put the darn thing together wrong. So my husband had to come in and save the day. I was thinking, why is this stuff rolling backwards and not forwards? Needless to say, my silly self put the shelves even instead of slanted down so that they did roll forward.
The last chapter, you gave me the soul I have today. Without you I never could have moved away. But now I see what you teach. I do believe I always should have stayed. Yeah. Is this really happening? I can't believe it's true. I'm just as surprised as you. Is this really happening? I can't be too sure, but one day I'll be yours again. One day I'll be life lessons come one in a dozen. The other 11 give something from nothing. Life lessons come one in a dozen. The other 11 give something from nothing. Life lessons come one in a dozen. The other 11 give something from nothing. Life changes just open the door. One thing's certain, I'll always be yours. Is this really happening? I can't believe it's true. I'm just as surprised as you. Is this really happening? I can't be too sure, but one day I'll be yours. Is this really happening? I can't believe it's true. I'm just as surprised as
And just like that, after a few hours of work and a few bucks spent, you have a beautiful pantry that you can stand to look at. I think this is the best layout so far. Hopefully it lasts for us years to come. I will say that's one of the only things I miss about our old house is the pantry. It was like this, but it was wider. If I can find a picture, I'll insert it. And if you've been with me that long, been a friend for that long, thank you, I appreciate you. And leave a house emoji down below, that way I know. The only thing I'm doing here is trying to figure out how to make our new mixing bowls fit in with the rest of our bowls. So just trying to flatten everything down, condense it a little bit, and shove it in this cabinet. Moving on to our master bathroom, this drawer has also been one of those things that's irritated me. We just kind of have all of our hairbrushes, hair dryers, and even our clippers shoved down in this drawer. So I'm taking some of these flexible bins from the Dollar Tree and trying to figure out how I can make this stuff a little bit more organized. I did end up sticking my dryer and curling wand in a fabric bin on a shelf that we have under this sink. So again, just playing around with the organizers, trying to figure out what makes the most sense for our stuff in this drawer. I'm giving you an after shot here, but this isn't it. I actually end up tossing out that hairspray because I've had it since the beginning of our marriage, so nearly 6 years. Okay, so this is what actually ended up working out the best. On the far right, I ended up putting these smaller containers in to hold our thermometers and our nail clippers. And then to the left, I just kept our, like, TMI, but like our nose hair pickers and stuff like that. So here I am putting that bin of my hair dryer and curling wand under the sink. And now we're going to move on to my linen closet. I'm essentially just replacing these beat up acrylic bins with these ones I got from Walmart. And I'm taking these big gaudy gauze packages and sticking them in a Ziploc bag to help fit in there a little bit better. And then, yeah, the rest is just me going through and transferring everything over into the new containers. So as you can see here, I've got my towels just shoved in this fabric bin. I did have them in a white container like this, but I did end up using that in my closet makeover. So I just got a new one in black. And so I'm putting my towels back in this organizer, and then I also store my extra bed sheets and curtains in here as well. Here I'm just going to restock my toilet paper, and then we're going to be replacing these plastic turquoise locker bins from the Dollar Tree with longer gray ones, just so it kind of matches the aesthetic, because everything else is gray in here in this linen closet. And then we're going to be moving on to the guest bathroom before wrapping things up in my closet. Not much going on in this guest bathroom. There was your little before shot of this drawer that needs the most work. I was hoping that this gray basket would work, but it didn't. So I don't even know what I ended up putting in here. Maybe a clear organizer, I think it was. But I did find use for these baskets, so stay tuned. And we ended up finding use for everything, even the stuff that I replaced, but this video is long enough, so we may do a whole house walkthrough. If you want to see that, make sure you're subscribed, and I will definitely get that out. But this drawer won't always be this jam-packed. Santa Claus likes to bring my kids lots of stuff for bubble baths and just fun bath time. So as the year progresses, this loot will definitely shrink quite a bit. wasn't a terribly huge difference in that after, but you know, every little bit counts. It definitely looked better than it did. But now we're moving on to my master closet, tying up a few loose ends in here, and all we're really doing is replacing all of these wire hangers and mixed matched hangers. I've got some black velvet hangers, and then I've also got some turquoise velvet hangers as well. So we're switching over to all black. They're actually black with a gold handle. That's what I'm into right now. I don't know why, but black and gold. So we're going to add all those hangers to the clothes, and then we're going to figure out some storage for my sunglasses and be done. I tried to talk a whole lot more through this video, try to talk you through a little bit of what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. I hope you enjoyed this type of video. If you did, please give us a big old thumbs up. That way I know to keep doing them like this. And I hope you guys enjoyed seeing all the transformations. I know it's definitely going to be a huge help in my life. Hopefully I gave you lots of ideas that could work in your life and homes as well. And if you missed the closet makeover, make sure you check it out. We did end up adding this shelf that's to the left of me. That way we just had more hanging space and more shelf space. We actually made this shelf the coat rack and then my purse shelf. So I'll give you a good look at it at the end of the video. And thank you guys so much for hanging out with me and spending this whole entire process with me. If you made it to the end, you were a trooper. Thank you. If you caught me dancing during this process, it's because I was jamming out to some good old Fleetwood Mac. But now we're moving on to sunglass organization. Yes, these poor Dollar Tree baskets finally found their home with my sunglasses. They've been moved from the fridge to the pantry to the bathrooms and now finally rest in my closet. Here is our final reveal and look at our closet makeover. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video as much as I truly enjoyed making it, and I'll see you guys very soon in a brand new video. Bye!